Welcome to the Bodhi Academy. My name is Shrutika and today let us continue with the second part of our chapter from class level, that is biomolecules. So in our previous video we have seen what are biomolecules, which are the types of biomolecules, and we have seen in detail about the two types of biomolecules, that is carbohydrate and protein. So in this video today let us learn in detail about the structure of proteins. So proteins we all know. So proteins we all know, it is made up of amino acid, and if this is an amino acid, there are various types of amino acids and they are held by polypeptide bonds. So this chain of amino acid which is held by polypeptide bond is called as protein. So protein, depending on its structure, depending on the position of this amino acids, it is classified into four types, and it is four types. First is the primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, and quaternary structure. So there are three types of structures in the proteins. So let us learn each of the structure in detail now. So the first structure is the primary structure. So the primary structure, it is the basic structure of protein in which number of polypeptides are involved having sequence of amino acid. Okay, this is the primary structure wherein it is like an amino acid is held by the polypeptide bonds. Okay, this is a chain of protein. So this is the primary structure of protein. The first amino acid of the sequence is called N-terminal. So the first amino acid is called N-terminal, and the last amino acid of the polypeptide chain is called the C-terminal. If this is the last, then it is called as the C-terminal. So this is a rough structure of how a primary structure of protein is. It has amino acid held by polypeptide bonds, and the first amino acid is called N-terminal and the last amino acid is called the C-terminal. Okay, so this is the structure of primary protein. Then let us see what is the structure of secondary protein. So thread forms. So this thread which is there now, this is a chain of amino acids. Okay, the primary structure. So the secondary structure, it is formed from the primary structure itself. So it forms a helix-like structure. So this thread will form a helix-like structure. Okay, it will start coiling like this. So it will form a helical structure. There are three types of secondary structures. So in the secondary protein, that is secondary structure of protein, the secondary structure of protein is of three types. It can be in the form of helix, plated, or collagen. So there are three types of the secondary structure of the protein is further divided into three different structure. So the secondary structure of the protein can be found as helix, it can be in the form of plated, and it can be found in the form of collagen. So in the helix, the polypeptide chain is coiled spirally in right-handed manner. So here it is coiled like this spirally in the right-handed manner. In plated secondary protein, two or more polypeptide chain are interconnected by hydrogen bonds. So here what will happen, they are like interconnected and they will form a chain like structure, and the two protein strands will be held by hydrogen bond. So hydrogen bond will connect the two different protein chains together. Then comes the collagen. So in collagen there are 3 strands or polypeptides coiled around one another by hydrogen bond. So here in secondary plated protein there were 2 strands of protein which were held by hydrogen bond. Here now there will be how many? 1, 2, 3 strands of protein which will be held together by hydrogen bonds. So that these are the 3 different kinds of secondary structure of proteins. Then comes our tertiary structure. So long protein chain is folded upon itself like a hollow woolen ball to give 3-dimensional view of the protein. So here what happens is the chain will fold itself and it will form a coil-like structure like a ball, and this is called as the tertiary structure of the protein. So basically the primary protein which is there, it gives the structure to all the other forms of protein, that is to the secondary and the tertiary structure. Then comes the last structure of protein, that is quaternary structure. So here each polypeptide develops its own tertiary structure and functions as a subunit of protein. So example of this type of structure of protein is hemoglobin. In adult hemoglobin, that is 4 subunits are involved and 2 subunits are of type and 2 subunits of type. Okay, so this is how the quaternary structure of protein is. So let us see them now over here. So see, this is the primary structure of the protein, wherein this each of this box which we can see is an amino acid, okay, which are held by what? Polypeptide bonds, and this is the N terminal and this is the C terminal of the amino acid. Then this structure further will form the secondary structure of protein, that is, this is what now helix. So this is how it is forming like this. So it is forming a helical structure. Here there will be 2 helix. This is what? This is the plated one. Okay, this is the second type of secondary structure, that is the plated one. Here there is one amino acid chain and this is the second amino acid chain, and they are held by whom? Hydrogen bonds. So this is how the 2 amino acids will be, 2 chains of amino acid will be held by this hydrogen bond to form one plated structure of the protein. Then comes our tertiary one. The tertiary one, it is like this chain is then folded, and this will be folded and this will be held by hydrogen and disulfide bonds, and this will form a 3D structure like, and this is called as the tertiary one. And further coiling of the tertiary protein structure forms what? The quaternary structure. So this is caused by refolding of the tertiary structure. So this was about the structure of proteins. So different structure of protein. Now let us see what are nucleic acids. So this is the another type of biomolecule which is called as the nucleic acid. Okay. So nucleic acid. So nucleic acids are polynucleotides. A nucleic acid has 3 chemical distinct components. So a nucleic acid has 3 components, that is a heterocyclic compound, that is the nitrogenous base. Then comes your polysaccharides, ribose or deoxyribose sugar, and the phosphate or phosphoric acid. So a nucleic acid is basically made up of nitrogenous bases, your sugar, and your phosphate bonds. Okay, so these are the 3 main parts which makes up a nucleic acid. So the heterocyclic compound in nucleic acids are nitrogenous bases called as the adenine, guanine, uracil, cytosine, and thymine. So these are what? These are the nitrogenous bases. Okay, so these are the nitrogenous bases which are present in the nucleic acid. Then adenine and guanine are substituted purines, while the rest are substituted pyramids. So adenine, so these nitrogenous bases are basically made up of purines and pyrimidines. So purines are adenine and guanine. So adenine and guanine are what? Your purines. And uracil, cytosine and thiamine are the pyrimidines. So these are what? These are the nitrogenous bases. So nitrogenous bases are of two types, purines and pyrimidines. And purines are adenine and guanine, and pyrimidines are uracil, cytosine and thiamine. So this is about the first component of the nucleic acid, that is the nitrogenous bases. Then the other part, it is the sugar. Okay, so the other part which is found, the second component is the sugar part, that is the polysaccharides. Okay, so the nucleic acid are divided into DNA and RNA based on which type of sugar is found in the nucleic acid. That is, if the sugar found in the nucleic acid is ribose sugar or deoxyribose sugar. If it is ribose sugar, then it is RNA, that is ribonucleic acid. And if the nucleic acid consists of deoxyribose sugar, then it is called as DNA. So nucleic acid are of two types, that is DNA or RNA or the DNA, and that depends on the type of sugar the nucleic acid consists of. And this sugar and the other nitrogenous bases are held together by phosphodiester bonds. So this is the function of the phosphate, which is the third component present in the nucleic acid. So this was about what? Nucleic acid. So in our today's class, what we have learned is the second biomolecule, that is the protein. We have seen the structures. Then we have seen the third biomolecule, that is nucleic acid, and the structure of the nucleic acid, and also we have seen the components which are present in the nucleic acid. So these are the things which we have covered in our today's video. So thank you for watching today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.